In the world of football, stories often unfold in extremes. On one side, a man once hailed as England's golden boy, Jack Grealish, now finds himself training alone, left out of Manchester City's plans despite a £100 million price tag. On the other, Brewster, a name that once echoed through Liverpool's youth ranks, quietly signs with Derby County, embracing a fresh start far from the Premier League spotlight. These are not just career updates. They are reflections of two very different paths in modern football, one paved with luxury and expectation, the other with humility and resilience. And as their stories unfold in parallel, they invite us to ask, what truly defines success in the beautiful game? Let's begin with the man who once lit up Villa Park and now faces an uncertain future at the Etihad. Jack Grealish's journey began in the heart of Birmingham, where he rose through the ranks of Aston Villa's academy. With his slicked-back hair, low socks, and fearless dribbling, he quickly became a fan favorite. More than just a player, he was a symbol of Villa's revival. By 2021, his performances had caught the eye of Manchester City, who signed him for a staggering £100 million, the most expensive English player in history. At first, the move seemed promising. Grealish lifted trophies, including the Premier League and the UEFA Champions League, and played under Pep Guardiola in one of the most tactically sophisticated teams in the world. But as seasons passed, his impact waned. Injuries, inconsistency, and off-pitch distractions began to overshadow his talent. Now, in 2025, Grealish finds himself training alone at the City Football Academy, excluded from the squad for the FIFA Club World Cup. His future at Manchester City hangs in the balance, and the silence from the club speaks volumes. But while Grealish's story is one of fading spotlight, another tale is quietly unfolding, one of quiet resilience and a return to basics. Brewster's name first gained attention in 2017, when he led England's under-17 squad to World Cup glory, finishing as the tournament's top scorer. At Liverpool, he was seen as a rising star, quick, clinical, and composed beyond his years. But breaking into Jurgen Klopp's first team proved difficult, and in 2020, Brewster made the move to Sheffield United for £23.5 million. It was a bold step, but one riddled with setbacks. Injuries plagued his time at Bramall Lane, limiting his appearances and stalling his development. Despite flashes of brilliance, Brewster never quite fulfilled the promise that once surrounded him. Now, in July 2025, he's taken a quieter route, signing a 2-year deal with Derby County in League One. His farewell message to Sheffield United was heartfelt, thanking fans, staff, and teammates for their support through difficult times. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't loud, but it was honest. Brewster's story isn't about headlines or transfer records, it's about perseverance. And as he begins again, far from the Premier League spotlight, his journey offers a stark contrast to the high-profile struggles of Jack Grealish. Let's take a closer look at where both players stand today. As of August 2025, Jack Grealish is no longer part of Manchester City's competitive plans. Left out of the squad for the FIFA Club World Cup, he now trains alone at the City Football Academy. The club has remained silent, but insiders suggest that City are actively seeking to offload him, either through a loan or a permanent transfer. His wages, reportedly €18 million per season, have become a burden. Napoli, West Ham, and Everton have shown interest, but none have made a move that matches City's expectations. Meanwhile, Brewster has quietly begun pre-season training with Derby County. No headlines, no drama, just a player focused on rebuilding. His contract is modest, his environment humble, but his intent is clear: to prove himself again. Brewster's farewell message to Sheffield United resonated with fans, not because of fame, but because of honesty. He spoke of injuries, setbacks, and gratitude. It was the kind of message that reminded people why they fell in love with football in the first place. So here we are. One player surrounded by uncertainty and financial complexity, the other grounded in simplicity and purpose. Both are at crossroads, but only one seems to be walking forward with clarity. And that contrast, between fading spotlight and quiet resilience, is what makes their stories so compelling. Jack Grealish and Brewster represent more than just two footballers at different stages of their careers. They symbolize the widening gap in modern football between glamour and grit, between excess and essence. Grealish, once the poster boy of English flair, now finds himself isolated, his £100 million price tag a weight rather than a badge of honor. His journey reflects the pressure of expectation, the fragility of form, and the unforgiving nature of elite sport. He is surrounded by luxury, yet seemingly adrift. Brewster, on the other hand, walks a quieter path. No designer suits, no headlines, just boots on grass and a desire to rebuild. His move to Derby County is not a fall from grace, but a return to purpose. In a world obsessed with status, Brewster reminds us that football is still about heart, hunger, and humility. The contrast is striking. One player is trying to escape the shadow of his own valuation. The other is embracing the light of a second chance. And in that contrast, we see something deeply human, the tension between who we are expected to be and who we choose to become. But this isn't just about individuals. It's about the systems that shape them, the clubs, the culture, the economics. Let's look at the role those institutions play in defining these journeys. Football clubs are more than employers. They are architects of identity, culture, and legacy. Manchester City, with its global reach and financial power, operates in a realm where performance is currency and image is everything. Jack Grealish's situation is not just about form, it's about fit. In a squad built for precision and control, his flair has become a misalignment. And when a player no longer fits the system, even a £100 million investment becomes expendable. Derby County, by contrast, is rebuilding from the ground up. After financial struggles and relegation, the club has embraced a philosophy rooted in development, community, and second chances. Ryan Brewster's arrival isn't a headline, it's a statement. A club choosing character over clout, potential over prestige. These two institutions reflect the extremes of football's ecosystem. One is driven by metrics and margins, the other by meaning and momentum. And in their decisions, they shape the lives of players, not just professionally, but personally. But clubs don't operate in isolation. Their choices ripple outward, influencing fans, media, and public perception. So how have supporters responded to these two stories? Let's listen to the voices that echo beyond the pitch. Football lives in the hearts of its fans. And when stories like Grealish's and Brewster's unfold, the reactions are immediate and emotional. Manchester City supporters are divided. Some defend Grealish, citing his contributions in the 2022 title run. Others feel his price tag never matched his performance, and that it's time to move on. Meanwhile, Derby County fans have welcomed Brewster with open arms. Comments on social media speak of hope, admiration, and belief in redemption. He's got something to prove, and we're here for it, one fan wrote. Even neutral fans have weighed in, praising Brewster's humility and questioning the culture of excess surrounding players like Grealish. These voices matter. They shape the narrative, and they remind us that football isn't just played on the pitch, it's felt in every corner of the community. So what does all this tell us about the game itself? Football is more than goals and glory. It's a mirror, reflecting ambition, vulnerability, and the choices that define us. Jack Grealish's story is not a failure. It's a reminder that talent alone cannot outrun expectation, that even in the most elite environments, identity can be lost in the pursuit of perfection. His journey is still unfolding, and perhaps the next chapter will be one of rediscovery. Ryan Brewster's path is quieter, but no less powerful. It speaks to the courage of starting again, of embracing humility, and of finding strength in simplicity. His move to Derby County may not make headlines, but it makes a statement that football, at its core, is still about the love of the game. In the end, these two players show us that success isn't always measured in trophies or transfer fees. Sometimes it's found in resilience, in gratitude, in the decision to keep going. And maybe that's the real beauty of football, not in the spotlight, but in the shadows where character is forged.